Ugh. Mr. Potato Head, Slinky Dog, the Etch-a-Sketch, Toddle Tots. I don't remember those from the Toy Story movies. Hey guys, it's Azure Tranquility with a new commentary. Believe it or not though, this will not have a raw gameplay equivalent. When you see what it is, you'll understand why. Hey, it's Activision. You know, they made some pretty good games, but they're holding Crash Bandicoot hostage, so I'm not on the best terms with those guys. Disney Interactive, they're alright. They made some pretty decent licensed games back in the day. This was kind of in the mid to low tier of them, but, well, it's not bad. It's not a piece of crap. Hey, Traveler's Tales, they've made some pretty decent games too. And they worked on Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex. It's a decent game, just make sure you get the right version. Oh, hey, Walt Disney Pictures and Pixar. Man, I wanted to see the lamp squish something. That's something I look forward to with every Pixar movie. And, oh my god, it's the aliens. Don't you just wanna... Wait, what? Toy Story! Oh, we're playing the first Toy Story! Oh no. Toy Story 2. Oh no. No. Actually, I remember kind of enjoying this game back in the day, but I don't think it was the PS1 version. No, I do not think it was the PS1 version. I think it was the N64 version, actually. Why am I, oh yeah, because this is an instrumental version of You've Got a Friend in Me. I love that song. I'm pretty sure everyone that's watched the movies have liked that song, including the Spanish version. I'll let this cutscene play first. That son of a bitch stole Woody. We can't have that. I think that's the objective of the entire game, but it has been quite some time since I've played this game, so I think I only remember maybe like 1%. Actually, the only thing that comes to mind instantly right now is this trash can slime boss that I remember being stuck on for the longest time, and then out of nowhere, my brother defeated him while I was in the bathroom. So, yeah, that was something. Anyway, you may notice the graphics on Buzz are a little weird here. I'm not sure if it's an emulation issue or if it's just how the game is, because you notice at some points in this video, it seems like it's a shading thing as opposed to a emulation or anything. I wouldn't know because, like I said, I don't recall playing the PS1 version back in the day, but you know, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Black Buzz, you know. Yeah. Anyway, these little floating squares apparently are your help boxes. Of course, I keep getting them because not only are they in the way, but apparently they just look like collectibles. So my instinct is to collect the collectibles. I mean, jeez. But anyway, this level ended up dragging a lot longer than I would have liked to. I cut a little bit of footage and it still ended up being about 23 minutes, but hopefully we won't have to deal with that sort of length with the other levels coming up. I'm hoping. I don't remember the levels taking this long, but you know, that's what I get for playing this game semi-blind. And I would say fully blind if I've never played this game before, but obviously I have played it at some point, so we can't really call it completely blind. Actually, when I was playing this, you know, I did kind of put the pieces back together, so to speak. A lot of things, you know, I didn't really remember right away. Like, yeah, this first-person view thing. Yeah, I don't remember this, but it's actually a very useful function that you should definitely utilize. And if you're wondering, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there are 5 pizza tokens to collect in every level, and the 4 out of the 5 will usually be the same objective. but then there'll be like one that might just be randomly hidden in a level. Of course, I don't think about this, and that's part of the reason why this video drags a bit. Another thing that drags this video is the mini-boss, which you could probably see from here as some sort of tin robot. That thing took a lot longer than it really should have. In fact, when we get to it, I'm not even sure what I'll have to say about it. So, instead of talking about the game for a minute, I will talk about maybe the movies. Well, being born in 1991, I do recall watching the first movie. If not in the theater, then it was probably when it was first released on VHS. I don't really recall the video games of that, though. Then Toy Story 2 came out, 4 years later. And then, of course, they didn't do Toy Story 3 until 11 years after Toy Story 2 in 2010. Boy, that's a huge gap, isn't it? But apparently, Pixar thought it would be a better idea to make movies like Cars and, well, a lot of other interesting movies, but I'm not very keen on Cars, I must admit. Now, the other stuff they produced between Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and, well, gotta be honest, I have not seen WALL-E, although I have heard good things about it. It's probably gonna be like Ratatouille, where I don't watch it when it comes out, but I watch it later, and I see how brilliant a movie it is. So I'm hoping that's what it'll be if I ever get around to watching that thing. And one of my favorite modern Pixar movies is Up. And, well, not gonna lie, a large part of it is the intro, but the actual movie itself is still pretty good. And that's really all I'm gonna say on that, man. I don't want this video to be too much about other stuff other than Toy Story. But anyway, this tin robot. At first, I thought I was supposed to shoot its the wind-up key on its back, even though I'm shooting it from the front. So it takes me a minute to realize how to hit this thing, because really what you gotta do is run away from it until it, gets exhausted, and then is when you can shoot it. That doesn't really make any sense, though. It's not like its armor is reduced or anything, so why do you have to wait for it to be tired to shoot it? Doesn't really make any sense. Not to mention, this mini-boss really drags. Look how little damage he's taking from my laser. Although, apparently, there is a power-up that gives you a green laser that, in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have spammed if I had gotten one of those by then. I'm not even really sure. To be honest, this level drags so much I kinda forgot some things along the way. Kind of embarrassing, I know, but well. This isn't the most exciting game in the world, but, it's something different. It's something different. And it is kind of sort of a way to talk about stuff other than video games, like movies. Well, they're still being kind of sort of relevant. So, you think I might do more of these? It's a good possibility. There were a couple other Disney games I played on the PlayStation that I enjoyed. As a kid, anyway. One of them being A Bug's Life. Now, between Toy Story 2, The Emperor's New Groove, and A Bug's Life, which I'm pretty sure were the only 3 PlayStation games I played in that I said I played the N64 version of Toy Story 2, but, it'll still count because it's the same generation. Those are really the only 3 Disney games I recall playing from that generation. Although, before that generation, I did actually, tamper with, Lion King on the Super Nintendo. So, I might do a playthrough of Bug's Life and Emperor's New Groove someday. And honestly, those 2 games are a little more fun to me currently, like as an adult, compared to Toy Story 2. Although, like I said, it might be due in part to me not playing the N64 version. Which, now that I think about it, I probably could have and should have done, now that I've got the ability to do so, but, PS1 version just, is a little bit different. Anyway, talk to Rex, and he'll tell you about any missing pizza tokens, which, at this point, if you've only collected the one in the ceiling, there will still be 4 more to collect, so I guess if you keep running into him, he'll tell you the other locations, or he'll just tell you one at a time. I'm not 100% sure on the details, but basically just talk to Rex if you ever get lost, which I do, in this video, if I'm not mistaken. Now that I think about it, I think that's something that I didn't cut out, which I should have cut out. Anyway, head to the basement, which is full of green slime. Totally not a foreshadow to a boss coming in later on. And talk to Mr. Potato Head. Yes, apparently he's missing his ear. If I'm not mistaken, he shows up in other levels too. And he'll be missing a different part each time. Or maybe he might be missing the same part again, you know. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure of the details. All I know for sure is that Mr. Potato Head is a recurring character, and more often than not, you're tracking down a part he's missed. Probably, or most likely, a reference to the fact that he loses his parts often in the movies. You know, no shit, right? But anyway, the platforming in this game can be a little odd at times. Most of the times when you double jump, you often reach the next area by grabbing on a ledge. It's not often that you actually jump on something. You double jump and you hope you grab on the ledge. Like right there, it kind of looked like Buzz could have landed on it himself, right? But no, you have to rely on the ledge grabbing, which is really kind of annoying, to be honest. There's also a lot of pushing, at least in this level in particular. And that also kind of gets annoying after a while. But anyway, one mission you have to do for this level is find 5 sheep for Bo Peep. Although it's kind of weird because each sheep seems to be like multiple sheep in one, so while it's 5 clusters, it's probably a lot more than 5 sheep. But let's not worry about the specifics. Let's just not. All you need to know is that there's 5 sheep, you gotta collect them if you want a pizza token. You don't really need to get all 5 pizza tokens in a level. You only need to collect like a few to be able to get to the next boss, apparently. So, and every time you collect a pizza token, it gives you an option to leave the level, so if you really wanted to, you could just collect 1 pizza token, exit the level, move on to the next level, collect a token, and so on and so forth. That will probably end up with you replaying levels to get more tokens for the bosses, but if you're pressed for time, then they give you that option, which I applaud it for that, giving the player a choice, but it's kind of a drag just to get 1 pizza token, to be honest. I'm not going to try to be too hard on this, because, like I said, it's really not a bad game, per se. Believe me, I've played much worse. Much worse than this game. You don't want to know. And I'm not even talking about Superman 64. That's one of the few infamously bad games I actually haven't touched. And I don't think I'm ever going to touch it. Unless... No, I don't think so. I've watched plenty of videos on the subject. I'd rather not. It's bad enough I've already played such infamous piles of shit, such as Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. To a lesser extent, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly as well. Oh god, that was one I played as a kid too. Sonic 06 was kind of a recent adventure. I barely made it past the first level. Okay, I'm digressing again. Okay, RC car. Okay, you have to race him, and you get a pizza token for that. This is probably one of the hardest things to do in the entire game. I mean, think about it. You're playing as Buzz Lightyear. You're trying to race an RC car. Think about that for a minute. And look at me. I mean, I'm ahead of the guy. I'm ahead of the car sometimes, but then the car just comes out of nowhere, rubber banding, right? And it's right behind me, but then I just keep going forward. I'm on edge the whole time I'm doing this race. Like, really. Any minute he probably could have usurped the finish line from me. Like, not even, it wouldn't be totally different from a blue shell in Mario Kart. But no, I somehow win the race through sheer luck and determination. And get a pizza token. I think that's the 3rd one. Or maybe it's the 2nd one. Honestly, it's easy to lose count. Actually, I'm surprised we're already almost at the 15-minute mark. Well, I mean, as like I said, or I've mentioned before, when I record a game, at first it lags while I'm recording, but then when it's finished processing, it's actually at regular speed, which I'm thankful for, although not having the lag during actual gameplay would be pretty nice too, because it can affect the gameplay sometimes, positively or negatively. But anyway, Don't leave the garage right away after the race, though, because there are some sheep around here somewhere. Oh, by the way, batteries are your health. Makes sense considering Buzz is an action figure with, you know, light-up stuff and such. Never really, gotta be honest, I don't recall really messing with Buzz Lightyear or Woody toys all that much. I have a pretty good feeling that I had them, but I always remember Mr. Potato Head being like the king of all of the actual toys. Him and Slinky Dog I really liked. Actually, Slinky Dog is probably my favorite Toy Story character overall, like toy or movie-wise. It's a shame that his voice actor, I think, passed away before Toy Story 3 came out. And you know, the voice wasn't exactly the same, but I still think it was a pretty good performance. But, oh man, original Slinky Dog, man. Or Slinky Dog in general. I mean, seriously, the Slinky itself was already a pretty cool toy. But then they went one step further and made a Slinky Dog. I mean, it helps that I was a dog person already. But oh my god, I could go all day about all the dogs I've owned in my life so far. But that would probably be a boring thing to discuss unless I was playing that out. Oh god. I just remembered another PS1 Disney game I played. 102 Dalmatians. I don't know if I'll do a playthrough of that. It would kind of break the trilogy. Oh man. Now that I've mentioned it, I think I may have to, though. Eventually. Someone will request it, I'm sure. Oh, Lord. I don't usually do requests, but once in a while I might do it if I want something different. Just please don't request it now. I think I'm going to need a good break after Toy Story 2 before I do another Disney thing. And if it is, it'll most likely be A Bug's Life. Because I gotta be honest, I was originally planning to do A Bug's Life. Not this, but I don't know. There's these guys that are planning to do Emperor's New Groove, so I don't know, I guess I figured I'd do a Disney game myself that wasn't Emperor's New Groove. And I figured I'd also pick a game that was based on a movie that came out closer to the release of Emperor's New Groove. And Toy Story 2 came out in '99, A Bug's Life came out in '98. So, yeah. Alternatively, I probably could have done Monsters, Inc., but, one, I've never played the PS1 Monsters, Inc. game, if it even exists. And then 2, I'm not even sure of its quality. Like, Toy Story 2 and all the other games I mentioned have the nostalgia card going for them. But Monsters, Inc., I don't know about that one. Maybe someone could tell me about it, but I wouldn't expect a playthrough of that. I wouldn't even expect anything of that. I mean, Toy Story 2, I have good memories of both the movie and the game, relatively speaking, so that seemed like a natural choice over Monsters, Inc. Because I don't recall any Pixar movies coming out in the year 2000, and Emperor's New Groove came out in the year 2000. So you see my logic here. Anyway, after going out of your way to collect Mr. Potato Head's ear on the bookshelf in the living room, by the way, feel free to use my video as a reference and probably do this level in half the time that I did. Well, seriously, I do get lost a little bit. It's something I don't normally do, but playing a game semi-blind, and it's a game that I haven't played in years, it's not going to be quite the same experience as, say, Donkey Kong Country or Ocarina of Time or something like that. God, I'd rather be playing something else than this right now. For the most part, anyway. But this might be good for me, like I said. You know, medicine tastes bad, but that's good for you too. Well, sometimes. Unless it has like a lot of bad side effects. I might experience a lot of side effects after the trash can boss. Oh, please. I'm hyping that thing up so much, and I'm probably going to defeat it on my first try. Because I'm an adult now. Things are not as hard as they used to be. Or I could be horribly wrong and I might have a worse time. You know, that's just something we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, after you give Mr. Potato Head his missing ear, you get this cosmic shield thing that honestly goes on a little bit longer than it should, and it hinders your jumping ability, so it's kind of annoying to wait on. I don't know why a shield would hinder your jumping ability, but, well, it does. So have fun with that. Okay, I gotta be honest, this basement, the way it's laid out is pretty damn annoying. It's not obvious that you have to go all the way to the back. That looks like a background, what you just saw back there with the cardboard box. But that is not a background. You actually have to go there, right? You actually have to go there, push some more boxes to get the last pizza token. Well, it might be your last pizza token, depending on how efficient you were. I was not very efficient, so yeah, I think it's the last one. 'Cause this is probably the part where I go back up to talk to Rex. This is the part I was thinking about cutting out, but I ended up not. So I will try to do better with editing with future levels, of course. I may not have to do it, because hopefully I'll be more efficient. I'm not gonna practice the levels or anything, because maybe some people find this more enjoyable to see me stumble around like an idiot instead of playing it semi-professionally. Playing a game semi-professionally, anyway. Oh boy, look at me using terms like that. It's silly. It's just silly. All this time, I haven't even talked about the enemies of this game. Yeah, they're enemies. You shoot them. Thank God the controller I use to record games has a turbo function. Makes the laser very fun to spam. So yeah, if you have one of those, feel free to spam the laser. Have some fun destroying enemies. But yes, because I neglected to avoid the zip line that took me back to an area I had already visited, we have to go through the sludge again with this cosmic shield. Doesn't drag as much as it did last time. Still kind of drags though. Go through the same path I took before. Jump up the box. Again, the double jump is very finicky, and honestly, you'd think Buzz Lightyear could glide, but no, he can't glide. Of course, if he could glide, this game would probably be assumed to be a Spyro clone. Oh no, we wouldn't want that, would we? As if there weren't already a dozen Crash and Spyro clones on the PS1 alone. And I gotta be honest, some of those clones are actually kind of decent. But, well, doesn't stop the fact that they're clones. Like, Emperor's New Groove is kind of a semi-clone of Spyro. You know what's even more of a clone of Spyro, though? Muppet Monster Adventure. If that's what's... Oh my god. Another game I could do a playthrough of. Because, oh my god, I had some fun with that game. Because, you know why? It was a clone of Spyro the Dragon. And it also wasn't really bad. In fact, I wouldn't hesitate to say that game could be considered good. Like, maybe 7 out of 10. Or 7.5 out of 10. Maybe 8 out of 10. It depends on the mood. Maybe the nostalgia card, too. I don't know. Nostalgia can be a complicated thing sometimes. You know. But anyway, I'm actually surprised I managed to not drag out my commentary at this point. But we are approaching the end of this video. After I collect this token and I exit the level. Thank God. So, I hope you'll join me for the next part, if I didn't already put you to sleep by now. So, enjoy Buzz's shitty face, and I'll see you next time for Andy's Neighborhood, I believe. Whoa. Me. Hey guys, welcome back to the Toy Story. Never mind, cutscene.
I were going to do the same. So who's with you?
I'm packing you an extra pair of shoes and your angry eyes, just in case.
Angry eyes.
Oh, Woody, when you find them.
All right, but I don't think it'll mean the same coming to me.
Mr. Buzz Lightyear, you just gotta save my pal Woody.
Wheezy the Penguin.
Okay, fellas.
Was interesting character, I guess. Slinky! Oh man, I told you he was awesome.
You'd think with all my video game experience, I'd be feeling more prepared.
You know why that is so funny?
We'll be back before Andy gets home.
Don't talk to any toy you don't know!
Cruel's Toy Barn and beyond.
It's funny because it applies to everyone that's played this game, I'm sure. But yes, props to Slinky Dog for being the best toy in the movie, or the series in general. Anyway, last time we did Andy's house, that dragged on a bit. This part we move on to Andy's neighborhood. And, well, check this music out. That sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? Kinda makes me want to go visit Vegas or something. Play places with casino. All these tokens aren't really helping that much either. Anyway, there's a battery right there at the start of the level, but you probably won't need it. And these molehills will come into effect later on in the part. Takes me a while to figure out what they're really for. So, last time at Andy's house there were 5 objectives. One was to race the RC car. The other was to find one laying around in the basement after getting Mr. Potato Head's ear. One for 50 tokens for him, and one for getting Bo Peep's 5 sheep. And one other one, I believe. It's not coming to my mind right now. But anyway, for Andy's neighborhood, once again, there are 5 tokens to collect. Again, one to race against RC Car. And this time, instead of Bo Peep, you'll actually have to talk to the Sarge, who is waiting in the steps in front of Andy's house, which is where you start in this level. But you have to find his 5 soldiers laying around the level. Actually, surprisingly not as complicated as Andy's house, believe it or not, because Andy's neighborhood is a bit more wide open. And thus, it's maybe a little less of a claustrophobic case. But yes, there are also these new Zerg-car enemies that take a lot of hits to defeat. But actually, if you find the green laser power-up, then those things are only like 1 hit. And actually, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a green laser power-up right there. About earlier. But anyway, I didn't really find this level to be as annoying to navigate as Andy's house, although there was this one part that did kind of throw me for a loop a little bit in terms of the way it's structured. That was a toy soldier in the basket. As I mentioned, there's 5 of those to find in this level. Find all 5, bring them back to the Sarge, you'll get a pizza token. And yeah, once again, you can get 5 of them. Although, I find that the pizza token you get for the RC car is quite difficult to get on your first visit. In fact, it might be recommended to come back later, but I'm not gonna be coming back. No. Backtracking is already a big red flag for me, so I'm definitely not gonna do that for Toy Story 2 of all games. Sorry to say, guys. I will be attempting the RC car race, but will I be winning it? You just have to wait and find out. But yes, the green laser does make life a lot easier because every enemy is like 1 hit. Oh yeah, I remember now. There was a pizza token in the last level for defeating the Tin Robot. I keep forgetting about the fact that there's supposed to be a mini-boss in every level. So I guess you're probably wondering what the mini-boss for this level is. Well, go find out soon enough. Wait, what is all this green stuff coming from the sky? Is that really slime? Really, game? You're taunting me more with the slime? When you know about how much pain and misery I had with that boss, you're still going to taunt me? Is this going to become a recurring theme? I must ponder this. Nah, let's not dwell on it, because it might not be slime. I mean, if it's coming down from the trees, maybe it's just like liquefied leaves or something equally as ridiculous. But anyway, finding 50 tokens in this level is a lot more of a breeze than it was in Andy's house. So you'll quickly get your first pizza token from Ham, hopefully. Depending on how well and accurately you're following my video, or videos. But yeah, this tree I actually had quite a few problems with in terms of the platforming. I mean, okay, first off, the camera in this game isn't the best. In fact, at times the camera can be quite hard to utilize, and it doesn't help that I glitched a little bit in that branch there. Another toy soldier for you to collect, 3 out of 5 at this point. Now, you think this looks like a seesaw, but it's not really a seesaw. You have to align the platform correctly so that you can jump on top of the tree bush. Even if it's just slightly lower, you won't make it because it's just not enough. This rope, when you grab onto it, it will lower onto the lower, well, closer to the base of the tree. That way you have a shortcut to come back up here. Very convenient, decent level design, I suppose. This pole right here, actually no, this pole isn't really that bad. There's a pole that will come up after this pole that can be really hard to aim your platforming. For now though, I keep screwing around on the rope for some reason. And eventually I do grab onto the pole, but in a weird manner, like from the top, and still manage to propel myself forward. Lucky me. Anyway, this seesaw, make sure it's aligned all the way up just like the last one. Jump at the top, grab the pole if you can, but it's hard to aim. And, you know, jump on the tree bush. It's easier said than done though, because, I don't know, the way they structured it, it's just kind of weird. Anyway, here's the mini-boss for this level, the Zerg Kite. But this time I have the laser power-up. So is this going to take as long as the Tin Robot? Nowhere near as long. In fact, that one hit took off over 1/3 of its health. We won't be here very long, folks. Yep. It's going to be go right now. Another freebie pizza token. I told you these would start getting more efficient after the first level, after I got my bearings and everything. There's a battery on top of one of these tree bushes, but it doesn't seem like Buzz is capable of going up there right now. I don't know if it's just me or if I really do need a power-up, but why in the hell would I need a power-up from a future level just to backtrack this level just to get a battery? That just seems really silly. Anyway, another good thing about this game is you can fall from the top heights of this game and you won't take any damage when you land. So, yeah, that's something else I can give props to this game for, not having fall damage. That's another annoying aspect, another annoying recurring aspect of video games for a lot of people. Anyway, use your butt stomp, which you probably don't even know you have at this point, to inflate this rubber ducky here. While I do not utilize it right away, by doing a butt bounce on top of the rubber ducky, you'll propel yourself above the pool and be able to collect another pizza token. Obviously, the one pizza token that's just randomly laying around. But yeah, Andy's Neighborhood is pretty much structured into a pool, the RC car racetrack, which also includes the tree, as well as the area in front of Andy's house. I think there's like one other area that I'm not thinking of right now, but that's really the main areas to worry about. Compared to Andy's house, which had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 rooms you had to navigate. It's definitely pretty beefy for a first level, in retrospect. So, yeah. And I hold on to the green laser power-up for a surprisingly long amount of time, even with the turbo function equipped. It's kind of bizarre. Oh yeah, another thing too, you see how Buzz was kind of blackish in the last part? This time he seems to be fixed a little bit, but he's also quite blue at times, so we went from black Buzz in part 1 to blue Buzz in part 2. I wonder what color he'll be next time. Maybe someone will keep tabs on that, I don't know. I'll leave that up to them, to him or her. Bypass the RC car again. I'm going to be saving that for last, since I'm technically not supposed to be able to beat the thing yet, so I'm only really going for 4 out of 5 pizza tokens this time. That's what I'm going for. Might get the 5th one, might not. As I said, we'll have to find out. Return back to in front of Andy's house, butt stomp all of the molehills where you see the green arrow, because that's where the soldier is hiding. There's a bunch of these molehills though, so you'll have to, you know, keep looking at all of them until you see the flare or see the green arrow and butt stomp. And this is actually one of the last ones, but I keep going back to it because there's a lot of molehills you won't really see until you're right in front of them. So you might find yourself exploring this for quite a bit. Eventually, though, you'll butt stomp all of the molehills, and eventually you'll get the soldier. not now. Hold on. Yeah, one more should do it after this one. I don't think the flares do damage if they hit you, but I still wouldn't be on top of a flare or anything. I wouldn't get hit by them if you can help it. That tractor also is invincible, so try to stay out of its way if you can help it. I couldn't really help it since I was butt stomping molehills. So yeah. Back to the RC car track, ignoring the RC car again. Now we head back to the pool, I do believe. Hang on a minute. More Zerg cars. Those things are annoying if you don't have the green laser power up. Yes, we head back to the pool for some things that I overlooked. First off, I do the butt stomp on the rubber ducky to get the pizza token that I mentioned. That duck kind of looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Or maybe it's just a coincidence. Anyway, after getting that pizza token, you're gonna have to do a bit of platforming to get to the top here because there's another soldier in this area. And apparently the last soldier we need. You see that plank of wood? We need to go on top of that statue to push that plank of wood. So, jump on this lawn chair here. I think you have to jump on the arm. And that arm is pretty thin, so it can be hard to stay balanced on top of it, but yeah. Jump from the palm tree to the statue. Shoot the Zerg robot. Palm tree again. Zerg robot again. Push the plank of wood so you have a way to get to this tree. You could just jump over to it, but obviously you want to push the plank of wood to have a shortcut in case you fall. Another battery for your convenience. Jump the poles with some freebie tokens. Good lord, there's a lot of tokens in this level. No wonder it was so quick to get ham. But that's the 5 soldiers found and accounted for. So now we head back to Andy's house to talk to the Sarge to hand over the soldiers. And get another pizza token as a result. I do believe after that will be when I attempt the RC car. And well, we'll see how that one goes. And actually, believe it or not, I'm also including the boss level in this part. So, whereas the first part was just the first level, this part includes the second level and the third level, even though the third level is technically just a boss. So we're making some real progress here. But yeah, time to attempt the RC car. Do ignore the tractor, if you can help it. Now, you're supposed to get some sort of an upgrade later in the game that enables you to walk or run faster, because the RC car is going to be faster. But there is a trick you can use. By standing in front of the RC car as it's moving forward, you can impede its progress. And by doing this, you should be able to win the race. However, I kinda make a mistake. Not right now, but during the second lap, I make a huge error that I didn't really think about. But yeah, it's an error. Even before then, I made a mistake right here. I didn't block the RC car's path because, you know, the way the track is laid out, it's kinda confusing. I mean, it looks like you can go left here, but then you see the ramp and you realize, oh, I'm not supposed to go there. So I'm stupid. I try to see if I could do a shortcut, try to cheat so-and-so. And boy, did that bite me in the ass, because doing so will not count as a lap. Of all the games to have, you know, something like that where you can't do an exploit, of all the games that's glitch-proofed, a Disney licensed game, it's the one game I want to be able to cheat. But then they don't do this. Actually, cheese would be a better term than cheat, but still. So if I hadn't done that, I probably would have won, and probably would have gotten the pizza token, but nope. I got to the last lap, and then RC car beat me. So I don't get no pizza token. 4 out of 5. That's what I gotta deal with. Life sucks. Oh, well. And like I said, I will not be going back to that, so 4 out of 5. But you at least you know how to get the 5th token. At least you know how. So now, you need 3 tokens for this boss, but you could have 9 to 10 by now, so shouldn't be a problem there. Now, being the first boss battle, one shouldn't expect a difficult battle. And this barely qualifies as a boss, it's just a toy biplane. I don't even see a pilot. So what you need to do is go into first person and shoot your laser at the plane. It takes about, I don't know, 10 hits or so to fully kill it. And sheesh, I don't even think this thing hits me one time. It was just a really quick and easy boss, to be honest. Nowhere near the intimidation of the next boss. Which, good lord, I just can't shut up about, can I? Yeah, the next boss is gonna be that trash can boss I mentioned. Like so many times already. And that apparently this game is trying to make me not forget about the damn thing. Although, I'd find it really hilarious if the next level had any slime. Because the next level is the construction yard, if I'm not mistaken. If that has slime, I'm gonna be, oh my god. Now the level before the boss I can understand, but the construction yard, no. Anyway, that's gonna end my commentary for this part because there's a bonus movie coming up. So join me next time as we do the construction yard. Have a good time, and you've got a friend in me. Although, funnily, this is actually from the beginning of the Toy Story 2 movie, but yeah. I will say though, this was one of the coolest things about in the Toy Story 2 movie was the references to Zurg in the video games and whatnot. I mean, it's a minor thing, but I still liked it anyway. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much if you haven't seen the movie before, but yeah. And beyond! That doesn't get ingrained into your mind after a while. Ah, so this is where they got the idea to use batteries as health. What a badass. You're probably wondering if you fight Zurg in the game. Maybe. Maybe. Damn. Oh, Buzz is dead. Game's over, folks. Nope. There's a controller design I love. Super Nintendo.